Hey everyone, Dale Hannegan here, your friendly neighborhood radiology recruiter. I wanted to follow up just quickly on a post from last week that I made, a short video called Medical Imaging, Why All the Negativity. I got blasted by a handful of people, and that's fine. I'll take the heat, but the vast majority of the people were very, very respectful who commented on the post. So thank you for that. I mean, even the negative folks, whatever, I appreciate your opinion. And essentially all my video was an opinion piece as well, because I do talk to dozens and dozens of providers like yourself every week. I've been in medical imaging recruiting for 23 years and in healthcare recruiting for almost 30. So you may not think that I know what I'm talking about. That's fine. Okay. But if you don't want to hear this video, then you can just skip over it. However, I did want to read a few of the comments and address a couple of things, and a lot of it was related to pay. For example, one says people are unhappy with the degree of corruption in healthcare, incompetence, nepotism, and lateral violence. So, I mean, if you're, if you got violence in the workplace, then yeah, it's definitely time to move on. During and after COVID, the RNs were given so much money. The nurses got $25,000 retention bonuses and RTs got nothing. Administration acts like we're not important to healthcare, which is the complete opposite. I totally agree with that. There is another one here that says people, let's see here. I'm sorry. Same one? Oh, here we go. This one was a good one. This guy kind of blew up my post, essentially saying patients are entitled, scream and hit, which again, you shouldn't tolerate that. Patients are always right. Hospitals blame us over nurses all day. MD scream at x-ray in the OR, etc. Yes, it's not hard to get an imaging job because of the above reasons. Lastly, hospital management has flat out said in person, you're blacklisted if you travel. I'd be curious to know if anybody who has been blacklisted if you decide to go to the travel sector. Let's see, rude, disrespectful workplaces and incompetent management in healthcare generally. Anyone reading this post, do not go into healthcare unless it's a temporary stop on your path. You'll be chewed up, spit out, and left sitting with back pain from all those unappreciated patients while you watch hospitals go all out on nursing week as a last insult. So, and that's kind of what I was talking about in the post. I see a lot of that stuff on social media. And again, it's a place to vent, and I totally get that. And I probably received about a dozen related to income. This one just says, because in radiology, we're significantly overlooked and underpaid. Had I known this field would stay stagnant and would pay so little to do so much, I would have chosen something completely different. And it does go on to talk more about that. I would like to know what everybody thinks they should be paid. So if if you're X-ray, CT, sonographer, whatever, put down on the post what you think a good starting rate would be for, say, a new graduate. These are things that we constantly talk to our clients about, our hospitals and our clinics, because they want to know, hey, what numbers do you have as well? So we do a compensation review, but it comes from human resources and talent acquisition. So we get the numbers that they offer, and that's what goes into our review. So if they offer someone, say, $40 an hour, we put that in there. If they offer somebody $36.95, that's what we put in there. And at the end of the year, we total it up and say, hey, these were the low, these were the high, and so forth. It's just one benchmark to use. You don't have to use that. If your travelers come in and say, hey, we're making $2,000 or $3,000 a week, that's what we should be paid too, then, that's fine. Put that in there. But I can tell you, I mean, most people, if you want to be paid 60, 70, 80 bucks an hour in medical imaging, you can get that if you move to California. Some places in Seattle and Oregon pay that. So if it is just high dollar, the highest possible wage, you need to move to the West Coast. So Why not do that? So that's a rhetorical question. Obviously, I know a lot of people just can't pack up and move, but that's what people are saying. Hey, we should be paid more. Well, you can make more, but you're going to move to a place that has a higher cost of living as well. And again, it's all relative to where you live. I mean, if you live in DC, you're going to be paid more than if you if you live in West Virginia. If you live in Seattle, you're going to be paid more than if you live in Kansas City. It's just kind of the way it is. I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's what I'm saying the reality is right now. So I would like to know what everybody thinks they should be making as a general rule of thumb, because that interests me. And again, we can put together another article as it relates to that as well. So anyway, thanks again for all of the comments. I did push back on a lot of it because frankly, a lot of people were just rude and disrespectful, and that's just not my nature to be rude and disrespectful. Yeah, I can come across as arrogant. Somebody called me an arrogant ass. Okay, I'm sorry about that. My wife might agree with that. So again, it is what it is, and I appreciate your opinion. And if you don't want mine, then like I said earlier, just skip over me. Okay. But anyway, for those of you who are happy, I love to hear those positive comments. We got a lot of those too, which really kind of reinforces that the previous video, that you can find happiness out there, but what is that worth to you? I don't know. I can't answer that question. There are many, many good employers out there. As I said in the previous video, wages are higher than they ever have been, and wages are going up again this year. So hopefully we'll get to that point where everybody feels like you're being paid a rate that you deserve. But I would like to know what you think about that. So please join our Facebook group. We post these types of videos every week, a couple of times a week, and other resources as it relates to jobs. So again, thank you for all you do. I really, really appreciate it. I know it's a tough profession. I say that all the time, and I really know that. So again, thank you so much. Please feel free to reach out anytime. Have a beautiful day.